Hi guys, welcome back to Beach and Fishing. Paul here with you again today, and today continues my journey, I guess, into all things to do with camping. My site looking at fishing, camping and everything in between. And today we're going to talk about the 3 best camping coolers. So coolers, we call them eskies here in Australia. Our friends over in New Zealand call them chili bins, cooler boxes, chiller boxes, whatever you want to call them. I do know in the US you call them coolers. So that's what we're talking about today, and we're talking about options for camping. Now obviously there's a lot of different variation of what it is when it comes to a cooler for camping. I actually have a 12-volt freezer thing that I use for most of my food. So for me, it's more about the drinks and the stuff that you're getting in and out quite a bit. You know, drinks for the kids, bait if I'm allowed to put bait in there. You know, some of the stuff that doesn't really matter if it's not kept extremely cold at any given time. So that's what I use it for. But if you're someone who needs a cooler who doesn't have the fridge and the cooler is what you're looking for, now I'm just going to run you through today some of the things to look for, and then I'll show you the options that I've come up with for the cooler. This one is it's a 40 litre job, this one. Things to look for when you're looking for a cooler is, the main thing is, as with everything else, and I say this on all my videos to do with camping gear, camping gear cops a bit of a hiding at the best of times. It gets, this one's scratched on the top, it does get bounced around, especially eskies, or I'm going to call them eskies because it's just natural for me, but if I say esky I mean cooler, especially for coolers where they get dragged along to the fire, they get, you know, moved around, they get sat on. This one makes a good seat. I've got a bigger size than this as well. But the thing to look for is sturdiness, or the way it's built to start with, because as I keep saying, they cop quite a bit of a hard time when they're there. Things to look for is, the first thing is you want to make sure it's actually going to hold your stuff cold. So if it's this hard set plastic, the polyethylene plastic, you'll see here that this one's quite thick. You can't see inside, but the thickness means that there's a good amount of insulation within inside it. If you have a look in the booklet, if it comes with a booklet, make sure that it does talk about the insulation in it and the thickness of it. Obviously, the thicker the insulation, the better quality, the longer it's going to keep your stuff cold. The next thing is all about seals. So you can see here, this one's got a rubber seal around the top, and it slips in quite strong there. If it's got a seal, it's going to keep things colder a lot longer. If there's no seal, just play with how it sits in and make sure it sits in nice and tight, because things in eskies get warmer when warm air is exposed to them. So the longer, if there's no warm air getting in while the eski is closed, you're going to go a long way to keeping your ice and your stuff cold a lot longer. So look for seals around the top. Along those lines is, you also want to make sure it's got some good hinges. Now this one here has some good plastic hinges in there, nice and strong. There's a metal rod through there. Good hinges means that it's not going to come loose at the back, so if you, nothing worse than closing it and having the back lift up because the hinges are no good. And then it's also going to want some good latches. So this one latches down here like so. So that latches the esky down. That's down nice and strong. That's not going to let too much warm air inside. So to be honest, they're the main things that I look for, that I would be looking for if I was buying an esky, is to make sure that it's good solid build, good insulation inside, good solid latches and good solid hinges with some sort of seal around there. They're the things that are going to keep it nice and cold. There are other things that you can look for when it comes to an esky, and now we're getting into all the nice little add-ons. Some of them come with little shelves or little boxes inside to keep things separate. It's nothing worse than opening up your esky in the morning and having all the your cheeses and stuff in the water, so you can get little trays that keep it out of the melting ice. I like ones with a good, I'll have to lift that up a bit, ones with a good, what's that called, a drainage hole in there. Again, if you've got a drainage hole, which is great, check that the plug that goes in it has a seal, because again, if you're screwing that on to seal it, you want that to have a nice rubber seal so that water's not leaking out of it, because there's nothing worse than standing in cold water it's leaked, or if you use it inside, or B, that it's letting warm air in and you're losing your cold that way. Another good thing with the drainage plug is that when I store this, I don't have to worry about it being closed. I don't latch it. If I take that out and just drop it in, then it's getting ventilation inside the esky there anyway. Other things, the base, some of them have rubber feet. This just has some moulded plastic feet on it. Rubber feet are really good if you're putting it in the back tray of a four drive or a truck or a ute or whatever you call them wherever you are. The rubber feet will mean it won't slide around there as well. Other things you get for them is wheels. Some of them have wheels on it with extendable handles so you can wheel it along. Some come with moulded drink holders and little like nibbly, we call them nibblies, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, whatever you call them, can go in those little things as well. This one here is another little smaller esky. This one's my take the football and watch football esky. You can see there it's got good solid things and its latches are slightly different there. But handles, so carry handles. If it's a smaller one, you've got a carry handle there, you can carry it like so. Handles on the side for lifting, so on and so forth. So that is a camping cooler, and as I keep saying, look for something that's nice and sturdy, good hinges, good latches, and a seal, and you're going to be okay. So I'll leave you here, and in a second I'll be back and I'll show you through the 3 that I've come up with that you can choose for your camping trips. See you then. And we're back. So let's have a look at those coolers as we've discussed. So the 3 coolers I've come up here are trying to give you a good overview of all the stuff that we talked about. Just quickly, there's what the insulation looks like between the external plastic coating that I mentioned in the previous video. So, and there you can see the one I was talking about. So the 3 I've come up with is, this one's a 50 quart 5-day cooler, heavy duty plastic, clip-on lid, latches. The lid actually pushes down, and the feedback in the reviews is that it's very airtight and works very well. So I've left that one in here without a actual clip down. The mould lid into the body is what seals it, and as I keep saying, it seals pretty well. Good size, 50 litre capacity, no drainage plug, but does have wheels and cup holders mounted into the lid there. So a very good cost-effective option for $60 there for this one. Especially if you're using it for camping, just for drinks and the like, then this one will work very well for you there, I would imagine. Okay, next one, premium ice chest Roto cooler with microban protection, which is effectively has little stuff in there that stops it going mouldy and keeps it well. So the Roto molded plastic, same as they do for kayaks. So if you've got a kayak, it's made out of the same sort of stuff as that. The polyurethane insulation, as I mentioned before. Roto molded lid and container, corrosion resistant T latches on the front. So it has the latches, has good hinges, and a 360-degree rubber gasket around the top there for sealing. 20 and 55 litre options there, and rubber sealed plugs on the side. So again, as I mentioned earlier, if you've got drainage plugs in there, you want them to be rubber sealed. Anti-skid feet, again, something I mentioned before, so it doesn't slide across the tray in your truck or ute. And Grizzly Bear Committee standards, bear resistant. You need to buy some locks, but if you're in an area where there's bears, this would be a good one. Padded handles, wire basket inside, and lock mounts for added security. So basically every added option that I talked about before, this one has it. $150 is a very good price for all that as well. So there's my second option there. And the third one is a Yeti Tundra. Now Yeti is just the next level of eskies. There's a few brands that do it, but Yeti is one of them. Some of you may know about the the drink coolers and the cups and all that sort of stuff, but Yeti coolers, that insulation I showed you above here, that's actually from a Yeti display. You might be able to see the Yeti writing on the side there, but a very, very, very good option there. Roto molded plastic, again, the same stuff as kayaks are made from, pressure injected commercial grade polyurethane. Roto molded lid and container, rubber T latches, 3 freezer grade seal. Didn't state how big it was, but it holds 45 cans of beer, which makes it fairly decent size. Rubber sealed plugs on the side for the drainage. Never flat wheel, anti-skid feet, aluminium arm, so it's got a little arm there that allows you to carry it, sort of like if you're carrying a little suitcase, something like that. And locking mounts for that one as well. Now, as I said, Yeti is just one of those ones where, to be honest, they're a lot more expensive. This is about $300, I think, $300 or $400, but they're just the next level up. A friend of mine has one of these. We put ice in it when we go out on our fishing trips, and we use it for beer, which means we're opening and closing it all the time, and by the end of it, there is very little water at the bottom. They are just that good. So that's my third option there for you. And that's it, guys. That's the end of my 3 camping coolers. Hope that was helpful for you. If you're watching this within YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel, and then comment below if there's any cooler that you use that works well for you. Same as if you're watching within a post. Comment below. Would love to hear about what you use, what eskies work well for, or coolers work well for you, what don't, and we can see what we can add. That's it, guys. Hope that was helpful. Chat to you soon. Happy camping, and speak to you later. Bye.